Alrighty guys, yo, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody just now tuning in, what we are doing in today's video is something a little bit different than the stuff we normally do, but I figured we could switch it up, but we're switching it up in a good way. You can see the title of this vid, and you should be able to see Fortnite Story Time on the side. I think you guys are really gonna like this. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, and since it is, do me a favor. Once you hear the story, you watch through the entire vid, just let me know what you think about it down below. Comment your thoughts, your opinions, and also crush that like button if you want more stuff like this. Let's go for like 10k likes on this vid because I think we can definitely hit it. I know for a fact we can. And last thing I'm gonna say is join the Gleam giveaway for default December down below and turn on notifications. With all that out of the way though, let me get into how episode number 1 of this is gonna work. So I was just browsing Reddit and then I saw something on the Fortnite Battle Royale Reddit that just absolutely blew my mind. If you know what Reddit is, I'm sure you've probably seen some posts from Fortnite VR, but there's this post that was posted 8 hours ago, 23.7k upvotes. This thing has 14 gold awards, 30 silver awards, 5 platinum awards. This is probably the biggest post I've ever seen on the Fortnite Battle Royale Reddit, and it's a story time titled I Met This Kid on Fortnite. I'll go ahead and link this down below if you want to read along with me, but I'm gonna like read this out maybe with some Fortnite gameplay in the background. But final thing before I read it out, let me show you this because it's gonna be referenced in the story. You guys know Fortnite Playground mode, and everybody trolls in Fortnite Playground, right? I've done vids about trolling in Playground. There's some big freaking Fortnite Playground vids that go hecka viral. I pretended to be a noob in Playground and destroyed bullies. This guy Swift, I got bullied for being a default in Playground Field and destroyed them. Fortnite. I'm sure most of you have seen these Playground videos and they go really big on YouTube. Right now, if I joined a Playground game, I would probably find somebody trolling or you know, something like that. Kids do it all the time, but in this story, it gets a little bit more serious than just that. And yeah, with all this being said, let's freaking get into the story time, man. So getting into the story, it's titled I Met This Kid on Fortnite by Only One Cager. We loaded in with the rest of the squad, and this kid, I guess to be about 14, begins to ask basic questions regarding how to play the game, pretending to be a new player. So as I always do with kids trying to troll me, I called him out. Let me guess, you're 14, you're the class clown, and you're trying to be funny right now. He pauses and an audible giggle can be heard through the mic. And after a minute of him continuing to try and fool me into believing his story, he gave up. Nah, bro, I'm just trolling you, but honestly, you guessed pretty close. I'm 13 and I am the class clown. So then we laughed it off and proceeded to play our squad game together. He asked if I wanted to duo with him after. We played quite a few games together after that and learned a lot about each other. At one point, he asked me, do you think I'm funny? Yeah, of course. I don't think I'd be playing with a 13-year-old if I didn't think you were funny. He seemed to like that. Later, he asked another question. Hey, did you ever like get bullied in school? Everything became clear in an instant. This kid needed someone to talk to, and so we did. We talked about life for a while, his school experiences, the friends who let him down, the girls he never got, and the bullies who have no regard for his feelings. He told me he has a rare condition that affects his intestines and has resulted in him having parts of it removed. He explained that much of the bullying stems from this. Before he logged off for the night, he thanked me for listening and said he was glad he could talk to me about those things. Now, I don't know who this kid is, but never before have I been so emotionally touched by an encounter online. Fortnite brought me into this kid's life at just the right time, and I hope I made an impact. Needless to say, I'm excited to hop on tonight and play with my new friends. Thank you, Fortnite, for facilitating this. TLDR, too long didn't read for those who don't know what that means. What I thought to be another kid trolling me in squads actually became a heartfelt encounter where I learned this troublemaker was actually a kid looking for someone to care about him. Alrighty guys, so that was like the quickest read through of this I could do. We read all the way up to here, and then this man goes on to leave an edit on his post. Wow, thank you for the gold. I hope this story has touched you all as much as experiencing it has touched me. You have the power to choose love over hate. You never know what people are going through, so let's all spread kindness and love, especially in this season. Oh man, you got me in the Christmas feels, dude. Edit 2, dear Lord, platinum, blown away by you people. And then edit 3, you guys are incredible. The stories I'm reading and messages I'm getting seriously reinforce my hope in humanity. I'm going to see what we can do for this young man, hopefully make his Christmas a memorable one. Also, it was Hirschsprung's disease. So not only do we have to read more stories in the comments down below about this, lots of people are commenting, but going over the story, I think it's really cool how this guy actually reflected on this. He found a kid in a random Fortnite squad and was just playing around, and then he ended up actually like connecting and emotionally talking to this guy. At the end of the day, even if you're trolling online, you're still a person talking to another person around the world. If you're going through something, it's definitely more than all right to talk about it with somebody free. It's actually super recommended. That goes for everybody watching this too. Like, everybody has a hard time and a hard day, and talking about it really helps. In this kid's situation, he wanted to be the class clown. He wanted to get attention, and the reason why he wanted to do that was because of so many people picking on him for things that he couldn't even really control. Personally speaking, I got bullied in school, and it wasn't fun, let me tell you. But the fact that this kid opened up to somebody online about all of his problems and really, you know, just talked through it with him, the fact he did that is really impressive to me, and I hope it helped him. I wish this guy put this man's IG in. I wish I could get in contact with both of these guys and do like a full-on story time about it. But getting into the comments, this guy writes, I used to volunteer for Childline, a free phone service for kids that need someone to talk to. A huge part of the training was how every prank call should be treated as a serious call and to not blast them for it, as it was often testing the line, ringing up what their mates are about and joking about. But 9 out of 10 of these kids would call back with an actual issue when they're on their own, knowing that someone would talk to them. Good on you for being there at the right time. More comments from this guy. This guy's like, that's such a heartwarming story. Thanks for posting. Yes, just reading this made my day. Good on you, OP. This guy's like, you're a good person. High Purchase says, oh, that's adorable. The other day I was playing with my mate and his friend joined. We played a few matches and we did pretty well when my mate went off on me and this other guy started chatting. General stuff. How are you doing? Where are you from? Etc. Eventually we get in the topic of when he started playing, and it turns out he was a PS4 player for the longest time but just switched to PC. The nerd in me came out and we started talking more. Since he was new to PC, he wasn't fully set up yet, so I asked him a few things. He had the same mouse as me but didn't have the software, so he couldn't remap buttons or change DPI, so I walked him through it. He goes on to say he helped his buddy with his computer issues. He talked him through all of that. After this guy ends up helping this completely random guy, he's like, the first game he played, he said, was as smooth as butter and felt like it was a different game. He was better than me before. Now he's godly. The TLDR of this entire situation is this guy helped another just random person through his issues without even, you know, needing to. In my opinion, you don't have to expect something in return in order to be nice to somebody. I try really hard to be a nice, positive light of influence and energy and stuff like that, and you know, obviously I have my bad days too. But I'm telling you, man, if you guys ever need someone to talk to, like the community we have on Twitter and Instagram especially, like the Landon fandom that was built around this YouTube channel is so supportive, man. If you guys ever need someone to talk to, say something in the comments and I'm sure somebody else is gonna be there to help talk about it with you, man. Milkman Forever goes on and says, I had something very similar happen recently. A kid with the worst stutter I have ever heard was in my random squad along with one other Mike Rando. The stuttering kid took a while to tell us stuff and it was sometimes hard to hear him, but I encouraged him to talk to us because previously he didn't like to because he was often made fun of. The other rando, as soon as the kid talked, said, "Today, Junior," and I snapped at him and told him to STFU. Oh my gosh. I then proceeded to ask the kid all kinds of questions and told him to never let any difference he has bring him down. I also have a soft spot for speech problems because I had a lisp. They required weekly counseling for like 10 years. Dude, this is a fun fact about me, man. When I was growing up in like 2nd grade, I had the worst speech impediment. Okay, it wasn't like the worst. Like I could still talk, obviously, but anytime I said the letter K, like Kim or Kelly, which was both of my aunt's names, I would say Tim or Telly. Instead of saying go get it, when I would throw a ball to my dog, I would say do did it. It probably just sounded so goofy. But moral of the story, I worked through it and here we are. Now I'm a YouTuber that talks for 15 hours a day. Now that this video just turned into like a vid about spreading positivity and stuff, dude, I think it's kind of really cool and really important to know that it is okay, again, to have a bad day. Bullying though is just, it's so ridiculous, dude. If you're watching this right now and you're a bully, you know you're a bully, you know you pick on people, don't do that, man. All right, I don't know how much I'm gonna help the situation just telling you not to do it. But let me say, when I was in school and I got bullied, the bullies picked on me for whatever reason. Like, I don't know how relatable this is, but I had no clue why I was getting bullied. Tough guys in school would always like belittle me and stuff, and now those guys who spent their time and energy like bullying other people are now literally like nobodies in a way. I don't mean to say that they're nobodies because they're still people too, and they probably don't, hopefully don't bully people anymore. But the moral of that story is don't let the negativity and people bullying you bring you down. Any opinion someone has about you doesn't have to be true. You don't have to prove yourself to any bully ever. You don't need recognition for them in order to be who you are. If someone's talking crap about you, man, just tell them to, you know, fudge off and just never think about them again. It's really, really simple. I had a friend growing up who actually committed suicide, and I know that like that's just the biggest bomb to drop on this vid, but the main reason why she did was because of bullying, and it's just so dumb, man. I think we need to spread positivity, and I just wish bullies knew that they really do affect people as much as they do, you know? Like, I got called fat once growing up, and that stuck with me for like 5 years, dude. Oh. Going back to the story though, this guy's like, this is so heartwarming. I went through bullying as a kid, and I coped in a similar way. It warms my heart to read this post and see that even strangers who don't know you can care. If anyone is going through something similar, please be more open about it. If you don't, it'll eat you up, and you could resort to doing some bad things. Love y'all. Like this, I couldn't have said that any better. Tyrion said, I've had a few encounters that got a little personal. I'm a 35-year-old father of 3. Oh, I haven't even read this yet, by the way. So after playing a few rounds with kids, I'll sometimes mention my own kids. I remember this one kid who couldn't have been more than 8 that straight up told me he wished I was his dad. Oh my gosh, ball dropped. He played Fortnite because his parents worked all the time, and I got the impression that he was alone, and this was his only social outlet. I think there's an epidemic of loneliness. Helicopter parenting and closed suburbs have created generations of kids that don't see their parents enough and aren't allowed to meet with their friends. So it's little wonder that Fortnite is filling that need by allowing them to connect with others. It's not a replacement for healthy social life, but it helps them cope. I don't necessarily think it's an epidemic of loneliness. I'm sure there's people out there who are pretty lonely, but going back to my childhood, I literally played Minecraft 24/7. I would hop on my computer, go to Minecraft Hunger Games. Like, I found my first internet online friends by going in a Hunger Games lobby and literally typing in, anybody want to Skype? I ended up adding this guy on Skype. His name is Indy. I've never talked about this, but Indy was my first ever online friend. I was like 12, and I talked to Indy for literally like a year and a half straight. He was like my only friend at the time, and it was an internet friend. But I'm reflecting on this and bringing it up because, I mean, he and I definitely helped each other through a lot, right? Just being able to talk to someone is so important, man. I want you guys to know it. You should never feel alone, dude. With all this being said, though, I have no freaking idea how long this video is gonna be. I figured I would switch it up. I know it's not like the normal content I make, but hopefully it helped somebody out there, dude. I really hope that's the case. If you made it to the end, make sure you let me know, but most importantly, let me know what you think about this whole entire situation. If you need help, comment down below. Next time you go on a playground or squad spill, be positive. Don't be negative unless you're recording for a YouTube vid, and in that case, make sure they know you're recording. Actually, no, don't be negative in any case. Oh my gosh. Anyways, guys, I hope you did go on to enjoy this vid. If you did, crush that like button, subscribe if you're new, but most importantly, I hope you did enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, safe, and amazing day. Goodbye, everybody.